Welcome to the Block Party. My name is Seth Kushner, joined by my co-host, Mr. Braydon Coburn. Hello.
Seth, thank you. I'm excited today.
Listen, let's be honest. We got a text from Brian Breesman. He goes, give me a couple options for guests. I said Belly. I love Belmar. And then you made a suggestion. This was like 2 weeks ago before he scored his first goal. And then you said...
I've been super excited to get Nick on the program. I've been watching him since the beginning of the year. Been so impressed. I think like everybody that's been watching the Lightning, it's been great. So Nick, welcome.
Thanks for having me.
Nick Perbix, welcome to the show. This is 8:30 in the morning, by the way. I can tell your eyes are still closed. What time's practice today?
I think it's around 11, but we got to work out before, so hopefully that'll wake me up a little bit.
Would you normally be here this early?
Probably not this early.
Okay. How do you get going in the morning? Is it like coffee or anything? Or
No, I've actually never really been a coffee guy. Last year during I was at school, we had practice in the morning, and I wasn't a morning guy. And I had a bad practice one day, and my coach says, "Have a coffee," and I'm like, "I don't drink coffee." He goes, "No, seriously, have a coffee." So he started making me have coffee before practice.
Probably not a good sign when your coach is telling you to wake up. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, listen, what'd you get? What'd you end up getting? Do you remember just a coffee or
just a plain? They had a little station and whatnot in the back that I just used.
Not a coffee guy. Doesn't know the coffee lingo.
No, it's okay.
Definitely not.
That's not a bad place to be. All right, so we'll get to this real quick. Where's the puck from the other night? Your first ever?
I actually don't know. I think they're doing something with it here. I gave it to Breezer, and
they'll do something really nice. They'll put on a nice plaque for him. It'll be
okay.
great. Yeah.
And then what? Are you staying at the hotel now?
It's the Roost. It's like a block or two away. It's not far at all. It's walking distance, so it's nice.
Nice.
Just didn't know if you're gonna have a place to display it at all. You're gonna have to,
no, probably not.
Send
not
it back,
yet, at least.
Send it back home.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to get into the little journey, Kobe, because you did a deep dive of where Nick started and where he's come from. Because he did not come out of nowhere.
No. Nick's an interesting guy. Elk River, is that right? Elk River. It's got to be a small town in Minnesota.
Yeah, it's about 20,000, so it's not tiny, but it's kind of mixed between a bunch of rural farm and then some city people.
Yeah, like hockey's kind of everything. Is that what I'm getting at? Yeah, that's nice. And impressive high school career, junior career, and college, right? To this point.
Yeah, I mean, growing up wasn't always the best, but then just kind of focusing on improving every year, and I guess that ultimately ended up with me getting here.
Yeah, right on. Mr. Hockey in high school, is that right?
Mr. Hockey finalist. And so actually Casey Middlestead, who we played against Buffalo, won it my year. So he was kind of the prodigy back then. But yeah, I was a finalist.
I think he's being pretty modest.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I don't think he won, though. I think he would tell us if he actually won. I think it stings, though. I can tell.
I think in Minnesota, though, if you're the finalist, like hockey is one of the. We were talking about this before the program, or before we came on, or before we start. What do we call this thing? I don't even.
Yeah,
know.
the podcast.
The podcast.
Yeah.
The program.
Yeah.
Like we're that official.
It's fine. It's 1950s.
But Nick, we were wondering, did you ever do or get involved in the Minnesota hockey hair thing? Like you got a pretty nice loaf going on right now, and were you ever in like the mullet phase?
Not quite mullet. It was in high school. It was definitely longer than this. Kind of had the wings going. I'm probably getting a haircut soon because this is pretty long for me now. But yeah, this was on the shorter end when I was in high school. So I guess you could say I was on the bandwagon a little bit.
All right,
Nick. So I want to find out this offseason. Obviously, the Lightning traded McDonough. Ruda's gone free agency. Bogo's recovering from injury. You're with the team. Do you start doing some math going, there's going to be a spot for me? What's your mindset, coming into camp this year?
I mean, like they kind of talked after my college because obviously I had to decide if I was going to sign here, free agency and whatnot. And so they did a great job, and ultimately, obviously, I'm very happy I ended up signing here. But I mean, there's so many great players. You just got to come in with your best foot forward and show them what you have, so what you can bring to the table. And so I just kind of tried to focus on doing that as much as possible.
That preparation for you kind of started before the offseason, right? Like a lot of people I talked to were extremely impressed with how hard you worked this offseason, the time and maybe the extra commitment you put in getting ready for the season.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you. Growing up, I never really lifted weights. Didn't really touch a weight until about my senior year of high school, and so that was the really big focus for me this offseason was just living in the weight room.
Yeah.
Do you have to? Is that important, Kobe? Like to be in the weight room, to be an NHL player? Like, do some guys lift more weights than others?
Well, it's important. It's an important part of the process. When you're young, it's hard to kind of gather all that kind of information, and it's different. Nick grew up playing hockey, and that's all you're focused on. You're focused on your skating, your skills. But as you become a pro, you realize there's more and more to the game. It's nutrition, it's working out. There's a whole other element that you need to develop. And I was impressed to hear that Nick, realized that early and made the commitment this offseason to hit the gym hard.
Any guys working out with you, like Bogo, or going, hey, come over here, let me show you how to, squat 450, anything like that? You're just working off, on your own in the corner.
Yeah, no, I was mostly on my own, but no, those guys have been great, especially since I've been here.
All right, listen. So here's something. How did you find out that you made the team this year?
I mean, I actually was sent down after camp for about a week and a half, and then I think they thought, I don't know if it was Footer or I think they said Footer they thought was going to be hurt longer term, so they called me up. He ended up obviously not, and then they had to decide if he was going to be in or out for my first game, and they wanted to let me know a little bit before so my parents could fly down. But yeah, it just kind of all happened really fast and just kind of taking it day by day and then trying to just earn another game.
They just said, hey, it's going to be your first game tonight. By the way, call your parents and we'll set this all up.
That's essentially what happened.
Okay, now you've got some inside info about when his mom got here, right, Kobe?
Well,
he already knows.
I think I know what you're talking about.
I've heard a couple of things about, and hey, don't feel bad or embarrassed because everyone's parents seem to have a knack for embarrassing them. But
yeah, really.
I kind of wanted to hear the story about your parents, your mom specifically, up in the pro shop. She had your jersey.
Yeah, no, I was there for it actually, which made it even a little funnier. But so we were just kind of milling around the pro shop. They wanted to get a bunch of stuff, and they saw you could get a jersey because like they had all the names, and mine was up there after my game. And she goes, "Oh, I got to get one." So they got one, and we were just sitting there. And when they got handed the jersey, she looks up. It's like Vazzy, Stammer, Hedman, and then like a blank jersey. So she turns around and puts my jersey up there. So and then she takes this picture of. So it looks like they're selling my jersey next to all of them, and I'm like, oh God, here we go.
It was a big commotion, though. Yeah. Apparently, your mom was very, very happy.
Oh yeah, she was letting everyone know. But then get here the next day, and some of the staff is like they had already heard. I'm like, how did you already hear this? But it was funny.
Where can we find those pictures? Is your mom on Instagram or anything like that? So we're gonna have to throw a follow.
I don't know. Maybe keep that one quiet.
Hey, they didn't make you pay for those jerseys at all, did they?
We got a team discount or something like that.
All right, perfect. That's what I need. Let's talk after. Okay, I need a couple new shirts. Can you talk about what the Olympic experience was like for you? Because we were kind of talking right before you came in here about how many guys on the Lightning right now have had that, and what we come to the conclusion? Corey Perry?
Yeah, that's the only other Bolt with Lightning experience. So.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's kind of interesting to hear, like, me and him. If there's going to be two, you would think it would be Stammer, Hetty, or some guys like that. But no, that experience was crazy. I mean, it was unbelievable. And that kind of also happened really fast, too, because you found out the NHL guys couldn't go, like, I don't know, just not too far in advance. And,
yeah, just a couple of months before, I think.
Yeah, mm-hmm. And so then they had a quick transition to non-NHL contracts. And luckily, my coach for my college team ended up being an assistant. And so I'm sure that helped me out a little bit. And they kind of wanted a mix of old and young. And one day I was just out to eat with some of my teammates, probably about 8 or 10 of us. And I get a call from my coach. And initially I'm like, what'd I do? Like, because it's my coach. I'm like, oh, this isn't good. And then he let me know. But he said I couldn't tell anyone, which was the kind of toughest part because I had to go back to eat dinner with 8 or 10 of my teammates just hearing that like life-changing news.
You told them. I mean, come on. You told them.
I didn't tell them right away. I was actually good about it. I immediately called my parents and all of that. So I kind of got that initial little out of the way, but then it was just blowing up inside. I got to the rink the next morning for practice. I go, I can't keep it from him anymore. He goes, yeah, well, we'll tell him. Yeah.
You're just wearing a smile the whole time. The boys are like, what is going on with you, man? Like,
they actually said that after, because we went and watched football. It was on like a Sunday. Went and watched football, and I kind of just had that, trying to hide a smile, but
I saw that hide the smile after your goal the other night.
Yeah.
You had the celebration, and I'm watching, and I could see you. You're kind of like, you seem like maybe like you want to be stoic out there, control your emotions and keep your emotions in check. But I could just see the smile, just you're trying to hold it back, but it's just like, it was just pouring out.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
It was kind of like, because I mean, there was still like 3-4 minutes left in the game, and you wanted to end up winning it. And so I did want to just erupt, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, we're still playing this game here.
Did you think about like your celebration? Did that ever come to your mind, or when you scored, you just like put your hands up and that was it, or just like, give the boys a hug?
I mean, I'm not a goal scorer. It's no secret, and so I usually just something just happens, and we just go from there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do defensemen have celebrations?
This guy scored a bunch of points in college. Like he's downplaying his offensive capabilities, but this guy, he was prolific in at St. Cloud.
Yeah, no, that was a great. I loved it there, and they gave me a lot of freedom, so I was very fortunate for that.
Yeah, but that's part of his game. That so far, you got the goal the other night, and every night, your minutes seem to be going up and up and up. Even with Hetty coming back, they're still playing you in lots of big minutes. So that's good to see.
Yeah, no, it's really. I mean, they're just trying to gain their trust in all different scenarios and trying to just build off that.
Has anybody yelled at, like, has just Sergachev or Hetty yelled at you yet? And you'd be like, oh my God, I can't believe this happened. Just a little something out there on the ice, or everybody's pretty cool?
Well, I mean, they're pretty cool. Like sometimes they get back to the bench and yell in their own like Russian or Swedish, and I'm like, oh God, what is that about me? I don't know. We'll see. But no, they haven't yelled at me.
Okay,
that I know of at least.
Was when you were at the Olympics, was it like total lockdown 24/7?
Yeah, pretty much. It was. Like we were told in the village, because obviously you had to wear a mask in the heat of COVID in China. There are cameras everywhere, and if you ever pulled down your mask in the village, there's a camera, take a picture of you and sent to your Olympic delegation.
Oh my God!
And I don't know if you've seen pictures of like the cafeteria, but there was like cubicles for everything. Like you could hardly talk to anyone.
Was it enjoyable? Would you say, or just the on ice stuff was?
It was really cool. Obviously, it was just an experience, completely crazy experience in itself. But no, it was very cool, like wearing the colors and all of that, and definitely had to watch Miracle before we got there.
How many guys got in like big crap for like pulling down masks and stuff? Like what did USA Hockey say to you guys? Like they would be like, this is over the top, or
like they understood that it was, and like half of us are 19 to 23, 24, and so like they understood what they were getting at. Yeah. We were getting into. So they were really good about it, but they just kept reminding us, like, hey, dude, just come on.
China was going to make people quarantine for like 2 months if they pulled down their mask or something like that. None of these guys would have been able to come home. So
it was crazy.
Yeah, it's a good thing they followed all the rules out there.
Did you get to watch any other sports when you were there, or any other events?
Yeah, we got to, so there was like 3 villages. There was one in the mountains for obviously the skiing and snowboarding, and then one for like the luge, like that hill, the whatever. Bobsled, luge,
yeah, that whole.
And then there was like mostly like the arena, the rink stuff, like the speed skating, figure skating, curling. So we got to go see all of those things, which was pretty cool.
All right, in a hypothetical situation, another USA sport needs you. What sport are you jumping into in the Winter Olympics?
Nice.
In the Winter Olympics, I don't know about that.
Just go down on skis and just hope
just bomb the hill.
Throw the leotards on and like do the figure skating, or what?
Oh wow,
pairs figure skating.
Pairs. That's tough. I mean, I think you could do a little solo routine before you got him out there with somebody else.
What's the movie? There's a movie where like a hockey player transitions into pairs figure skating.
Is it a Will Ferrell movie, or is it a serious movie?
It's kind of like rom-com.
Oh, okay, all right. Well, we're gonna have to put it in our queue for Netflix. We're gonna have to check that out though. Kobe's recommending rom-coms. I didn't see that coming. Now, I know Kobe during his playing career, his illustrious playing career, he had superstitions, and one of them was that he would change socks in between every period. And I get it. They're, disgusting and everything like that. And you wanted to feel clean, right? Going back out there. Is that what it was?
Yeah, I just hated being sweaty. I wanted that like dry feeling in my skates all the time.
Do you have anything like that, or have you been around anybody that's had anything as weird as what Kobe used to do?
I don't know.
Thanks for putting that out.
That one's a lot. I mean, I hate tying and untying skates, so that one isn't for me. I don't have anything crazy. I tape my stick after every period, but other than that, I mean, I'll do some little things here and there. Maybe listen to the same song here, like from time to time if I have a good game. But then if I don't, it's the song's fault, and so I switch it up. But no, I haven't been around many people with too many crazy, at least noticeable. But I'm also kind of not oblivious before games, but kind of just to myself, worry about what I'm doing.
I get that. So did somebody grab the puck for you the other night after you scored? Because I'm sure, like, I've seen guys score their first goals, and normally, like, they forget that it happened, and Stammer, like, normally will run in there, or somebody be like, hey, you forgot this. Did somebody grab it for you, or?
Yeah, I think Hagues went and grabbed it.
Yeah.
Because he came over to me, and then he skated away, so I'm assuming that's where he went.
Yeah, see, those guys are smart. They're always thinking about it. The guys that score the goal, they're not like, hey, I just scored my... Was that like, hey, I just scored my first goal, or hey, like, we're going to win this game right now because of me?
I don't know if you can say because of me, but...
I'm the best.
What's that feel like? Like you said, you're not a goal scorer. I mean, you're fine not scoring goals. It's not your job. But when it happens, and then there's that group hug. I mean, and that you're the center of.
I mean, I didn't black out, but it's just like you don't really think. Like I said, I just kind of threw my hands up, screamed, celebrated, and like for it to be like if a few years ago you said Nikita Kucherov was going to be coming over to me, congratulating me after giving me a pass on my first goal, I would be like, okay, come on now, let's calm down. But
and there was a Cooch smile there, a rare Cooch smile sighting. We saw it.
Yeah, and so I mean that's just all so surreal, and I just tried to enjoy it as much as I could.
Do you feel like that you've come out of nowhere? You know, I know like for a lot of guys, we were talking the other day, and it's like, you know, Stamkos drafted, you know, number 1, Hedman was drafted number 2. They've been able to draft guys in the later rounds, you know, like, Braydon Point and stuff like that. And I know you were drafted in the 4th round. Do you feel like, hey, like I came out of nowhere? Did you think like there's going to be a spot for me one day on this team?
I mean, see, I never like, yes and no. That's been a goal for sure, especially being drafted here with all the success they've had, but it's not like I've been like, okay, this is the year that I want to make it. And I've just kind of tried to focus on getting better every year. Like even after my junior year, they offered me a contract, and I'm like, I'm not ready yet, because I wanted to be able to come in and at least have a shot at playing.
Do what you're doing right now.
Yeah. Yeah. And so
mission accomplished.
Yeah. I guess it's working.
That's awesome. So you have the customary rookie number. I'm assuming that was assigned to you in training camp.
Yeah.
At some point, are you thinking about, you know, is there a number that you'd want, or are you cool with the number you have right now?
I mean, yeah.
Because 48 is not exactly.
Yeah, it's a very.
I don't imagine you grew up being like, "Hey, coach, I want to be a 48." Like I love it. You know?
I don't think there's any. I can't think of a 48 in any sport, to be honest with you. So
Nick Perbix.
Oh, I mean, well,
he's gonna make it famous.
Do you want to be the first, or would you rather just hop on a number that's already been established?
I mean, I don't know. Like, I've never been a huge
number guy.
Because growing up every other year, I was the youngest guy on the team, so I just get the last number. And so I never grew close to a number. And so I mean, it doesn't really. I've had friends ask me, like, did you choose that? I'm like, no, I definitely did not choose that. But
so we got to plant the bug. What are a couple numbers that you would go with? I think you were 25 in college.
25 in college. I mean, I like that number. I was 6 in high school. And so, I mean, those maybe 2 that I would consider, but I don't think
we're listening. I mean, somebody important's watching this. That's why I want, listen, let's get these, these numbers here. He's here to stay. Okay. So
I heard 55's open right now.
So what they do when you first got in the league? Did they assign you a number? I mean, you were a first round draft pick. So did they go, hey, listen, first round draft pick, Atlanta Thrashers, we want to know, what number do you want to be?
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing that I was like some kind of like number in the 30s when I first got in. Ooh. And then they were like, do you want a different number? When I finally kind of started playing some games, went to 4 and then was traded to Philly. And I showed up in Philly, and Paul Holmgren, who's the general manager, had number 5 in my stall. And I asked the trainer, I was like, I don't want to like ruffle any feathers here, but number 5's in my stall. Why is that? And he's like, Paul Holmgren picked it. And then I was just too scared to go ask him why.
Yeah, you can't.
I just accepted it. And I was like, it grew on me, eventually.
I'm wondering now if anybody's had the courage to go, hey, listen, give me another number right now. This is not going to work for me. So, but you're good with it, Nick?
Yeah, no, I don't mind it at all.
Do you feel like you're able to be yourself, off the ice right now, being around all these guys, Pat Maroon and these veterans like Corey Perry and, Stamkos? Do you feel like you're able to be who you truly are? Do you feel like you're still getting to that point where you can really be yourself off the ice?
I mean, I've kind of always naturally been a quieter, just kind of reserved guy, and so it's not like anything crazy different for me. But I'm getting more comfortable over time. I mean, I remember my first day of camp when I'm skating with like Hetty and Stammer and giving them passes. I'm just like, what's going on right now? I was so nervous to just make a simple pass, but now I mean, I'm comfortable in those scenarios for sure.
That's good. So Are you already starting to brainstorm some jokes? Because at some point this year you're gonna have a rookie party, and like you're gonna have to come out of your shell a little bit and tell some jokes and maybe rip on some guys, because like that's kind of what happens at those parties.
Yeah, I mean, that's news to me. You can maybe fill me in on what to
what
expect.
happened? What'd they make you do, Kobe?
Rookie parties?
Yeah.
Rookie party. You got it really excited right there.
Well, I mean, listen, I wouldn't mind being a rookie.
We'll have a podcast rookie party, and you can.
I feel like this is a secret society thing that you're kind of letting us in on.
No. It's every team. Every team, they have, 1 point during the year, rookies pay for dinner, and the guys all go out, and it's kind of like almost
which is real jacked up on this team.
It's like it's like kind of like an initiation. It can be expensive. I think my first rookie party, I think I paid maybe almost $10,000 for the dinner.
What the heck, man?
Yeah, but I think other sports do it too. I remember reading something about football doing it and stuff like that. But they'll get you out up on the kind of in front of the restaurant or in front of the group, and you'll be telling stories about something or a joke, or you got to rip on somebody. So
okay, thanks for giving me the heads up.
I give them heads up, so I got to start brainstorming now.
Yeah, we're like only 15% of the way into the season, so I guess there's plenty of time for this. And if no one's thinking of it, Kobe, maybe you can set up a rookie party. Since you're the
no. Killer's definitely he's on top of it.
Oh, is Killer the guy?
Yeah. You know what? Like veteran guys, they kind of like. As soon as the schedule comes out, you start looking at little spots like, oh, how about this spot here or that spot there, a couple of days off between. Trust me, those guys got their eye on it.
Nick, who's your biggest fan?
Oh, I mean, it's got to be my parents. I don't know if I can pick one of them, but I mean, they've done so much for me, driving me everywhere growing up and all of that, and calling me after games, calling me after accomplish something. So yeah, I'd say it's one of those two for sure. Giving
you advice that you didn't ask for? Like, do they talk about your play at all, or do they leave that alone?
I mean, my dad still definitely likes to chime in on that. My mom knows that she's just there to enjoy, watch the game, support me in any way. But yeah, my dad definitely chimes in a little bit.
What's your dad say? Get the puck more to Sergey. What are you doing trying to handle it? Like, what's he chirping you about?
I mean, he's just classic dad. Hey, you're doing good, this or that. I mean, got to make strong plays, got to be harder in front. And he's doing this.
Did your dad play hockey?
Yeah, he played Division III in Gustavus. It's a small school in Minnesota, but he played hockey. He does know enough to where, I mean, I do respect what he says for sure.
Yeah. Did he coach you growing up as well?
A little bit when I was super young, but in Elk River, growing up, like from Squirts to Bantams or Squirts to high school, I guess they have like non-parent coaches, and so it was kind of nice actually, just nothing to worry about there with all the parents and whatnot.
Have you experienced the Braydon Point Cirelli debate in the locker room where those guys go back and forth about something ridiculous? We talked to Cirelli and Kobe's, from his experience, those guys like to fight a lot. Have you been able to sit back and watch a debate yet, or?
I've seen a couple of them. Obviously, Tony hasn't been in the locker room as much as a normal year with his injury, but no, I've seen a couple of debates, and I just laugh.
Did you make it to the Halloween party, or are rookies not allowed at that?
I did make it.
Okay, all right.
Everyone's allowed.
Okay,
just not you.
I'm trying here. Okay, I'm trying. Now, how much thought did you have to put into your costume? This is your first big party. I mean, everybody goes all out. Nick Paul went to Busch Gardens for 19 hours and got the whole treatment for that. Obviously, he doesn't have children. We realized he's got a lot of time on his hands. What were you, and how much thought did you put into it?
I mean, that was kind of interesting too, because we came back from California the night before, and me and Kepke didn't really know about it. It's because I wasn't here at the beginning of the year, and you must have just missed it. And so they're like, "Oh, hey, Halloween party tomorrow night at 6," and we're like, "We don't have anything. We were not ready." And so we just went to Party City, completely empty. There was nothing there. So like, "Oh, here we go. What are we gonna do now?" And we just went to like Walmart, and we just got like the Hawaiian shirt, the long white socks, the big white clunky shoe, and we were just like tourists, just something simple.
Okay.
Something that everyone kind of could figure out, but it wasn't too much.
So when the laundry situation gets low in the year here, those Hawaiian shirts will make a comeback.
Yeah, you never know. If you see me walking around in a Hawaiian shirt, just know it's been used before.
Who was the most impressive at the party? Who'd you really? Because Hagel said, I asked if Hagel was most impressed with Nick Paul, and I think Hagel said that he was impressed with himself for the Halloween party. Who did you go, man, you really put too much thought into this?
I mean, you got to give that one to Paul. Like, Paulie, you could hardly even recognize him. You had to do a double take to figure out. But, I mean, his costume was unbelievable. Higgs actually did have a good costume. He was Willy Wonka. But, I mean, yeah, I'd definitely give that one to Paulie.
Guys are chirping Nick Paul, right, for spending that much time putting it together? You don't know?
I'm not.
Okay. Let us know if anybody.
My cap to him.
Let us know if anybody else is. All right, this is something that Kobe told me, and we want to know if this is still happening in your career. What was it? High school, college, pregame ritual of?
Yeah, a unique pregame ritual. I don't know. You and a buddy, you guys would have like a pregame chess match before you guys' nap.
Oh, that was in. So during COVID in the bubble, we obviously had roommates. We lived there for a month, and Kyler Kupka, he's still playing there, and we just have we got into chess. We were just looking for stuff to do because we were living in a hotel for a month, and we just really got into chess. Before every game, we play a game of chess. So
that's great. Is there anyone? I think I already know the answer, but is there anyone in the dressing room right now that you play chess with?
No, I haven't played chess in a while, actually. It'd be fun to get back into, but no, I haven't played it.
Who plays chess? You know who plays chess? You must know.
No, I don't know. I'm trying to think of anybody that would, and I'm like, maybe Killer because he's went to Harvard, but that doesn't mean anything. But
no, he could probably he'd have to play just chess online, I think, against somebody, right? I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, I guess I do that on planes because the no data needed. You just play against a computer.
Yeah.
You got to keep, so the pregame ritual of chess is gone and he's still thriving, okay? That's what needs to be known.
Like, you strike me as like a super smart guy. Do you feel like you're like, was it National Honor Society in high school? Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, my mom's a teacher, so she's been very on me. And that's also partially why I went back last year. It was just to get a degree because obviously there's going to be something after hockey. It can only be so long. But yeah, no, I've always taken school pretty seriously, especially my mom.
Yeah, well, you can tell on the ice, like when you have the puck, you're just poised. It seems like the plays that you make, you're very calculated in your game in a good way, and I mean that as a defenseman. You don't play outside yourself, and obviously, you see John Cooper like heaping praise on you night after night, which has got to make you feel good.
Yeah, I mean, it's always good to make the head coach happy.
Did you read it? Did you read any of his stuff that he said about you after the other night, after your goal?
No, usually my dad will end up listening to it. Oh, he said this about you. I'm like, okay, Dad. But
I mean, he went out of his way, Coop did, to really praise you. So I mean, I know that's I'm not here to make you feel uncomfortable about that at all, but that's good stuff. I mean, everything seems to be going well for you right now. Is anything going bad in your life that you want to share? Everything's going great for Nick right now.
No, I'm pretty happy right now. That's for sure.
So have you got a chance to kind of wander out in Tampa at all and see kind of the city and do some stuff? Have you done anything like that? Because sometimes in the summer you didn't get a chance to come to Tampa and do any of the prospect camps because of COVID and everything in the last couple of years. So you haven't really gotten a chance to kind of be out and about in Tampa. Have you done anything since you've been up so far?
I mean, nothing crazy. Like I've been golfing. I'm a big golfer. I've been golfing a few times. I mean, another kind of just realize where you are story was me and Kepke were looking for something to do. We asked Stammer, there are any good courses around here? And he goes, oh, I'll get you on my course. And so we're golfing on Steven Stamkos's private course that he sets up, and we're like, okay.
Is that why you asked him? Because you knew he was going to give you his private course?
No, we were actually we've been kind of looking around for public courses, and just because I don't even have my clubs here. I got to rent clubs still because I wasn't sure where I was going to end up when I came down here. But I mean, it's just little stuff like that that's pretty cool.
So did you take money from Kepke on your golf game?
No, we didn't play for money. I think if we handicapped it, he would have got me. He played pretty well that day, but no, I mean it was fun.
What's going on with you and Kepke? Because we were supposed to interview you the other day out in Brandon, and then there was oh no, Nick's got to get a ride home from Kepke, and then they said, do you want to interview Kepke and Nick? And we're like, oh my god, all right, fine, bring them all in. And then they're like, okay, they can't do it. Is he your personal driver now because of the season you're having? And what kind of ride sharing relationship do you guys have?
No, not at all. I mean, we're good buddies, and like you said, we do share a car because we live a block away, and neither one of us have a car here. So it's nice. It's kind of nice to have someone to go through it all with.
Does he drive? But he likes to do the driving.
Yeah, he's usually driving, and I'm not too mad about it.
Do you sit in the back seat and text just make it feel real official?
Yeah.
I got my Perrier in the back seat, my cell phone, put my feet up.
Yeah, not quite, but I try to be a good co-pilot.
All right.
Well, listen, man, you're having a great year. We're happy to have you. This is definitely scoring your first goal the other night. It is not the pinnacle so far this season. It's being on this podcast with me and Kobe. So thank you very much, especially coming in this early. I've been waiting for your eyes to open up during the interview, but they're still halfway closed. So maybe grab a coffee or something like that, or a Mountain Dew. But you're doing great this year, man. And listen, Kobe's a big fan of yours.
Huge fan. He
really is.
Yeah,
so
I couldn't wait to get you on the interview. So it's really nice to meet you.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Thank you.
Fun.